Good morning everyone, today is a Sunday and tomorrow is the last day of classes for the entire semester. I am going to start studying this week for finals all the way until I finish all of my finals, which will be carrying on to next week. For now, I'm going to head out, go to the grocery store and buy a few groceries because I've run out of points and swipes on my card. I'm going to try and finish my grocery shopping within 1.5 hours because I do have an entire final study plan planned for the entirety of reading week and finals. I really want to get started on because my 2 finals are my hardest classes and I don't want to waste any time. I'm gonna go back to my room, do my skincare, get dressed, and we're going to head out together. The weather looks really nice today too. Hello, Dad.
How are you, Lua?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Little side note guys, but I got these Itoen stickers from a Children's Day celebration on May 1st. It was a children's celebration with the Japanese language department at Columbia, and they had a bunch of Itoen merch. They had like the green tea, oolong tea, and jasmine tea. At the end of at the end of the celebration, we sang this song on the day of departure. I'm going to get dressed really quickly, fix my hair, and then we're gonna head out. It is a little chilly, like 13 degrees, but honestly it's not that bad. Hey guys, so I just came back from doing my groceries and some other errands. I just had lunch and also just relaxed for a little bit and did some organizing of my finances and other things on my laptop. And now I'm going to get started with studying. I'm actually going to start with psychology because I do have my midterm 3, which is also considered the final exam, but it's not cumulative, and that will be on Thursday, I believe. I'm just going to make some flashcards and start reviewing the content for that because there is a lot, and it's about social psychology and clinical psychology, which is not really my strong suit. The time is currently 7:20 and food is sitting on the stove cooking, and I also have this apple turnover from a pack that I bought from Whole Foods yesterday. The goal for this morning before class starts is to make a bunch of flashcards of all of the reactions and reagents that we learned in Organic Chemistry 1, such as hydroboration, oxymercuration, halide formation, things like that. Just having the reagents on one side and then like the starting material and ending product on the other side, just so I can study and make sure that I have those memorized before I actually start reviewing that section, and also definitely before the exam. I do need to get changed soon, but I'll also do that later. But for now, I'm just going to have breakfast, have my apple turnover, and make these flashcards, and then maybe I'll also review some of the psychology cards that I have on Anki that are just sitting there. I love apple turnovers so much, guys. They're so delicious. I love, honestly, any apple dessert. And I think it's kind of crazy that some people don't like apple pie. Like, I'm pretty sure some of my friends don't like apple pie, which I think is just absurd. Like, apple pie is so good. time is 9:45, which means that I do have to start heading out to class if I don't want to be late. I just finished getting ready and I was reviewing some flashcards as I waited for the time. Until this moment, I was just doing some psychology reviewing, and I also made flashcards for chemistry. I didn't make the back part, which is why I want to have the starting material and the product, but I think I'll just do that later on today if I have any time. If not, I'll definitely do it tonight before I go to bed. I just finished my last class of the day, which was organic chemistry. Honestly, all of the classes that I ended were a little bit anticlimactic. I do need to finish making my flashcards because, as I said this morning, I only made the reagents and not the starting materials and the products for organic chemistry. And after we looked over synthetic problems today, I realized that I actually need to write down a few more reagents that we have gone over that I forgot about entirely. Is applying to like the Columbia one if you're like a Columbia student, like I wasn't patient. Yeah. The time is 11:40 and I'm back in my dorm after about 2.5 hours of studying at the library. I ended up coming home early because one, I had a package that I had to pick up and I didn't want to delay that any further. And then two, the room itself was pretty cold, and I don't know if it's just me, but if I'm not comfortable, like if my body temperature is not like optimal in a certain area, I cannot focus. Plan is to review the rest of organic chemistry. I will try to get through SN1, SN2, E1, E2 reactions by today, and then everything else I can continue to do tomorrow and further on until the exam comes around. time is 6:15 and my iPad is on 23%. So I'm going to pause studying for a little bit so I can make dinner and also just relax. I got through a lot of the weekly problem sets that I've been reviewing. Some of these are blank because a lot of the earlier ones that were onward were more phenomenal based, so I decided to skip those and work on some practice problems. And I managed to do quite a lot. My desk is honestly such a mess. I haven't pulled out my kit in so long, so honestly just seeing it is kind of insane. This evening I will try to focus more on psychology, making sure that I have all of my flashcards reviewed. For now I'm just going to clean up a little bit and enjoy the nice breeze that's coming through the window. Hello everyone, I just returned from a 3-hour physics review session that my professor was holding in the usual lecture room. There were only around, I want to say 20 people max in there, so it was pretty quiet, but also a lot of good questions were asked, and I also had some questions that I had to ask, and thankfully they were answered. I've been studying since 8 a.m. this morning. Immediately when I woke up, I just changed, had breakfast, and went to Milstein to study for about an hour and a half before I had to go to the review session that started from 10 and ended at 1. And now I'm on break because that is, I believe, 5 hours of studying, which is quite a lot. So I am going to take a short break. Good morning everyone. It is a little chilly in my room, which is why I have this blanket wrapped around me. But today is May 7th and I have my psychology exam in around 4 hours. I'm going to study for 4 hours straight. Honestly, don't know exactly how I'm going to do that because there actually isn't a lot of content to cover for this exam. This third midterm will be focusing on social psychology and clinical psychology. Because I have exactly 4 hours, I'm going to do a Pomodoro. It is 5:30 and I have work at 5:45. The shift is a double shift, so it runs from 5:45 to closing, which is at 12:30. I'm just going to change out of these clothes because I do have a uniform I have to wear and these sweatpants. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for another day of studying. Good morning, guys. It is Friday, the last day I'm filming for this vlog. I took the liberty of giving myself 2 extra hours today to just stay in bed to make up for the fact that I probably went to bed around 1 a.m. last night due to my overnight shift. Today, instead of studying, I actually have to focus on my last and final project for microbiology. It is a pandemic modeling system. I'm going to go to the library, meet up with my group members, and we're going to work on that. Finish that today, submit that. It is due on Monday, but we're going to finish it now because everyone has finals. It looks so aesthetic when it's not like making you question your sanity.